Ciao and welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to show you how to mount the wireless charger on your bike so you can charge your phone or any device on the go without having to worry that your battery might get drained when you forget to unplug it or something like that. So for that I ordered a USB charger. This one is basically connecting to the battery. You have the pins there to connect it directly, wire it directly to the battery. I didn't want to do that because I don't want to drain my battery, and yeah, so I just wanted to plug it differently. And with the XSR 900 I was quite lucky because the XSR 900 has a auxiliary mount, an empty one, which you can then connect to your charger. So how that works is you basically take out this mount of your bike, which I will show you in a minute where it's located, and it's basically an empty shell. You have to put then the pins in it and wire it. I will make sure that I put a picture of those pins in here so you see how they look. Then you just connect the wires into that. I mean, these parts are already on the bike. The pins I got from a Yamaha dealership for 1 Swiss francs. It's approximately $1, so pretty cheap for that. And then with the charger, with the actual charger, I just cut off the wire to the desired length. So and then connected it to this plastic connector, which then goes onto the bike. I got two chargers because I have two bikes. This one here I will mount to my Harley Davidson Sportster Roadster. So there I don't have an auxiliary port. I will have to figure out a way. Either I will mount it on the lamp, on the headlight, or the battery directly, but I don't know that yet. I will figure it out and make a dedicated video for that one as well. So with that one here, so what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to tape it here with electrical tape, so it gets a bit of protection because of the moisture and rain that might come in. I will just wrap an electrical tape around it, and that then should be enough. So I just cut off a piece of the electrical tape. I'm going to put it around here. Just make sure it fits nicely and to make sure it seals from the weather. And the benefit of mounting it to the auxiliary connector is that when you disconnect, or when you let's say stop the bike and stop the engine, stop the engine, then the electricity will be cut off, so you don't have to worry about draining your battery with this connector. So I think that's a pretty good benefit there. So once you have that, we then can move on to the bike and see how it goes. And just make sure if you look at that way, for me that part is the bottom, that part is the top. So when you look at from the top, on the right hand side I have the plus, on the left hand side I have the minus. So just make sure that you got this one correct. On the connector here, it's just a USB-A plug. I can connect the cable from the QuadLock wireless charger onto that one, and then the USB-C type connector goes in there. Then you have a connection to your bike with which then supplies you with electricity. So yeah, let's go to the bike and see how we mount it. Here we are back on the bike, downstairs in the garage. What I'll do first is I will go ahead and disassemble the whole unit, since I put it together upstairs to have a look at it, how it looks assembled. For that I'm going to unscrew this screw here to just detach the arm from the handlebar mount itself.
once I've done that, you can just then locate a specific place where you want to put your mount on. That can vary on your bike, and then there is a screw which you can undo, this one here, and you just undo that one. Once you've undone this one, you can then open the clamp and put it on your handlebar. With this set, there's 3 different rings, basically adapter rings for the handlebars. Just make sure you have the right one, and just make sure you don't lose the screw. Here you can see how to open it, and that's the adapter I am taking for my handlebar. So first put on the adapter ring, because I did have limited space there. So after the adapter ring, I am putting on the mount itself, and then just screw in the screw again to put everything in place and hold it in place. For the first time, I would not screw it too tight. You might want to adjust it later down the road, so just keep that in mind. It doesn't have to be fixed for now. Just put it there to hold it in place. Once we've done that, we can then decide if we want to put the arm on it, or if we will just take the vibration dampener. On this setup, I will go with the arm, because I have also my GoPro on the handlebars, so everything will not fit onto the handlebars. For this, I just put first the arm of the mounting system and tie that down, and screw that down. Once I'm done with the arm, we then can go to the vibration dampener. The vibration dampener is basically just a piece which keeps your phone's in-body image stabilization intact, and it doesn't break when you use that. It has some kind of plastic soft cushions in it, so it dampens the vibrations. The vibration dampener goes on top of the arm. Just put it there, and also don't screw it too tight, because you may need to adjust the angle it's sitting on there because of the cable of the charging head. Once we're done with the vibration dampener, we can then take the wireless charger and locate the charging port basically on the back of the charger, where the USB-C connection goes in. And you want to make sure that your cable can be stored behind it. So just adjust it where you want to put it. And with the wireless charger, there comes also a longer screw, because you need to go through the charger into the vibration dampener. As you see, those screws also have some Loctite already on it, so it doesn't get loose while driving. Then just put the wireless charger on top of the vibration dampener, and as I mentioned before, just make sure you have the cable free in the back of the charger. Otherwise, you can just twist your vibration dampener to the desired angle, so it works out for you and your setup. Once the angle on the vibration dampener is correct, make sure to tighten that one down, because it was too loose before. And then once you tighten it, then you can just put on the vibration dampener. On the vibration dampener, also make sure not to forget the small attachment on top of it, which comes loose in the case. You want to put that on there. It says QuadLock on it, so that's the cap where your phone basically sits on. Put that onto your wireless charger, put in then the screw, and also screw it down. With this one, you can just go ahead and tighten it, because we already made the angle adjustments on that. So, yep. That should be fine. After that, just test if your phone is mounting on it, and you can also see the angles you can mount your phone, horizontal or vertically on your mount. I have mine here in a quite odd angle. I might change the location. Maybe I will just put the GoPro somewhere else and put the charger in the middle. I'll have to figure that out and see how it goes. For the first time, it's a bit a hassle to to detach it and turn it around. You just have to figure it out how to do it. Once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. But yeah, for the first time, it needs a bit time to get used to it. But it's pretty straightforward actually. The whole mounting system does move a bit because of the vibration dampener. That is intended, so don't be freaked out when it moves a little bit. That's because it has to absorb all the vibrations your engine is producing. Once we are done with the setup on the handlebars, we need to make sure that we have a connection on the cable, that we have electricity on the charger. For that, on my XSR 900, on the right hand side there is a box just in front of the gas tank. On that box there are two screws. You just undo those two screws, then you can take off these accessory plates. I just put a XSR plate on it because it looks cool. Yours might be just black, plain black. Just undo this and take it off. Make sure not to let it drop on the floor and scratch it. Once you have that, on the top you have two different kind of screws, two different kind of bolts. Undo those bolts, and once you're done with that, you will then get access into this box. In this box then we will mount our cable we prepared earlier on. Once you take off that box, behind it there will be a protection cover. It's a plastic cover, it's just sticked on there. You can just pull it out, and once you pull that out, you will then have access to your cables and everything in the back. In there are two cables. One is, I think, the fuses and stuff. I'm not sure on that. That's held in place with a rubber. Make sure to gently wiggle out the rubber there. If your bike is pretty old, that might be a little fragile, so make sure to pay attention to that, not to break it. Underneath that cable then there is our pin. That's basically the one we need to connect our accessory. So for that then you take the cable we prepared upstairs, and then make sure you put it on the right way. So that means the black wire goes onto the black one and the colored wire goes onto the colored one. Before I prepared my cable, I did sort that out, so it should be correct here. For this then you just put it in, connect it, and then you can start to basically arrange everything so it fits nicely in there and put everything back together. The fuse box has to be clipped in place with this rubber again. When you're putting back the cables, just make sure that they are fitting nice and snug in there so they don't vibrate while you're riding your bike. After we sorted that out, we can then connect our USB Type A cable onto the port. In my case here, all the cables will go into this box, and also to protect it from the elements, to protect it from the elements, I will also put some electrical tape around the wires, just to make sure they are a bit better protected for moisture and dust and stuff. And in order to do so, just make sure you fit it really tight and it seals off good, or as good as possible, basically. You can do some wraps around it. Just give it a couple of turns, just to make sure. I mean, it's just electrical tape. It doesn't do any damage. When you want to remove or exchange the parts, you can just rip it off and it will be fine. Once you're done with the electrical tape, you can then just go ahead and place everything inside the box. My USB Type A connector is quite big, so yeah, that's a bit of a problem here. I don't have a lot of space in that box. When you're going out for to look for some kind of connection, maybe make sure you have a smaller one. Yeah, then it's easier to fit it in there. I will just fit everything inside it, and when you're fitting it inside it, just make sure you have enough room to fit in all the cables, and you don't break the cables while then putting back the box onto the frame. Once you arranged all the cables, put back your plastic cover. Make sure it fits in the right places, and after that then you can just assemble it again and put everything back together how it was in the beginning. There you have it. That's your wireless charger from QuadLock on your XSR 900. Also, just give it a quick check if it works properly. For that I just switched on my ignition and checked if everything works as it should, and yeah, it does. After some time using this system, I will also post a long-term review on it, how it's holding up, and if it's worth the money to go for the QuadLock system. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching this tutorial or how-to video. If you like the content, please don't forget to give me a subscription or a like. I would really appreciate that. It does help me to create more content and to kind of grow this channel.